Hi guys, I'm Jim and this is Jim's Fix-It Shop and we're going to jump into this snapper again. Now we're trying to keep these short, that's hence the mini series. Today we're going to pull the tires off and check the bearings, the bushings. This model has bushings in it. And we're going to check side play. Now your side play, if you mow on a hill and you mow sideways on the hill instead of going down the hill and up the hill, that's what creates the wear that gives you side play on your axle. That's also what will wear out the bearings in the front tires because they are extremely cheap. Now this is a rear case or a rear cover for the right hand side. It's where the differential cover bolts on, and this is one of the bushings. Now this inside flange is a lot bigger than the outside is, and when you put these in, you press them in until that flange hits the cover, and that's as far as it can go. Now when these are new on the right side and the left side, and you have all the rest of the parts in between them, they're all pinched up against this bearing surface and the other one, and it's supposed to give you like a 64th to the maximum, I'd say, of a 32nd of side play. But as you use your machine and these things are tipped, it wears this surface down, and that's where you come up with that. This one does have some slop in it, and I'm going to show you what you can do to get rid of that and how you check for it. But right now, let's pull the tires off and see what the bushings look like. Okay, I got the bolt, this funny little tapered bolt that they put in these things, and the nut off of the wheel flange, so I can just pull this whole assembly off, because for the life of me, I could not break these 3 bolts loose, even with my impact. So we're just going to leave them on. And that one come off pretty good. Now I did notice on this shaft, what you want to do to check for wear in your bushing is try to wiggle this thing. Now you don't want to wiggle it, well, with it laying on its back. I suppose you would consider this being up and down. But when I say up and down, I mean when it's sitting on the ground on all 4 tires, up and down is this way. So this is how you want to wiggle it. And I don't feel any play in that bushing. That one is real good. But now I want to show you what they did on these new bushings. Get you up here kind of close. But on these new ones, if you look right up in here, what they did on the new bushings is they cut a recess in here, and they actually pressed in a lip seal. Because these newer machines, let me get one of my old ones. Okay, this is what they used to have to keep the sand out of your bushing. It was just a little plastic cover that slid on here, and a hose clamp went around it and held it on. Well, these are no longer available. If you've got an older machine, you're going to have to get one of the rubber seals that I'll show you in a minute that's on the differential side and put it on this side to seal it up to keep the sand out of there. So let's check for side play. I've got a little less than 1/8 of an inch. Now to correct that, I'm going to pull the boot off on the inside. If you can see it, right here, we're going to take that off of there. Now this one is nice and greasy in there. That's nice. That's why it shifts so good. Most of them, when I take them apart, they're dry and full of dirt. Now right in, you can see that your hex shaft is moving back and forth when I move the axle. And right in here, there's a metal shim. If I can get it to move over. I don't know if you can even see this, but right up against the back side of this bushing, there's a metal shim that snaps into the hex shaft. And you can see I've got a gap there now. That's where you snap in those plastic or nylon spacers you can get from Parts Tree. They're shaped like a C. Instead of being completely round, they have a hole or a slot snipped through them, and you just snap them over the axle, and it takes care of that issue. Now let's pull the other side off and see what that looks like. Little hubcap comes off. We need a 1/2-inch wrench, and these are self-locking nuts so they don't break loose real easy. Now, you don't want to take the nut all the way off, just get it loose. Then you're going to tap on it with a hammer to knock this taper out of this hole on the opposite side. And we pull that out. Now, let's hope this one comes off like the other one did. Now I had to put the tire back on the other side so I'd have some weight to help me break this loose, and just spin it back and forth, and this one is coming off good too. Now this is the seal I'm talking about. If you don't have a built-in seal on that side of the machine, and you can't get these little plastic things anymore, you can buy an extra one of these from Parts Tree, and you can put one of these on that side of your machine. It's just a stiff rubber housing that holds a lip seal that seals it up. And that's what I did on mine. I put one on that side. You will wipe this off because there is lube coming out of here and lubricating this shaft like it's supposed to. Now I can see a a little bit of movement here, only because when you move it, you can see the grease oozing back and forth from moving the shaft. That's got some wear in it. That side over there is real good. This side here, I don't know if I would change that or not. Me, I probably would. I'll have to talk to the owner and see if he wants to go that far. Now, I did talk to him the other day at work, and well, that's about it for this. We checked both bushings, we checked the side play, and the bushing on the other side. So that's all we're going to do to this right now. Well, that's it on this one. That's all I'm going to do. It's just the bearings, the bushings. I'm sorry. They have me saying that now. And the side play. And I've been doing this in small steps. Mostly not to give the boss a heart attack when he sees this thing all tore apart. But I've been having so many calls on the front structure, and you have that tube that goes back into the rear case being froze up. How do I get that out? Well, I jumped ahead about 3 videos and I aired that this past week or 2, and he's seen that and he said, oh my gosh, he says, what'd you do to my tractor? It's all tore apart. Well, I planned on just doing little steps so I didn't scare him so bad. But I asked him, well, what do you want to do at this point? We're almost done checking what I can check. He said, well, as long as you're this far, why don't you take apart the chain case and the differential. Check them out, see if there's anything wore in them. I seriously doubt there's going to be. But he wants to clean all that snapper lube out, and he wants to switch it over to 80-90 gear lube. So to clean them out, that is the only way that I can say to thoroughly get them cleaned out is just take them apart. I've had a lot of people call me and say, how can we clean these out? What do we do? I don't know, try something, and if it works, let me know, because I just tear them apart and fix them. So if you have any questions on this, send me an email or put it in the description below. It's jimsfixitshop@gmail.com, and I'll get back with you. I answer a ton of them every night. I have 20 to 30 emails almost daily. I wish I could get them to subscribe before I answer their questions, because man, I'd have a whole bunch of subscribers. And that's what I need. I need a bunch of subscribers so I can work out some deals with these part companies. So I guess until next time, work safe, have fun, and I'm going to try to get this thing running before fall. He plans on sucking leaves with it. We'll see you later.